Hi, my name is Jana. Welcome back to my channel. Here I talk about slow living, my life in the Finnish countryside, handmade crafts, and the beauty of living intentionally. Slow living and money. Can you afford a slow lifestyle? Many people think that you need to be rich in order to live a slow life. But in this video I'm going to tell you that you don't, and I'm a living proof of that. I'm going to tell you about some of my choices when it comes to slow living and finances. And please remember that I'm talking about this from my own personal perspective. I don't mean this to be a guide for everybody. I understand that we are all in different financial situations. And I'm not saying that one size fits all, that my example is something that everybody should do. I understand that my choices might not even be a possibility for you. My income is below the Finnish average. And that's because I work as a writer, which is not one of the most lucrative businesses there are. But it's also about my own choice to do things that I always dreamt of doing, to do things that I love, even though they don't pay me as much as some other jobs might. My husband earns about the Finnish average. I won't be talking about euros or dollars in this video because first of all, that's personal information, and second, I don't think that would be so useful for somebody who lives in another country because, for example, in the US, people earn a lot more on average than they do in Finland. So that would kind of give the wrong impression. But how has it been possible for me to do that? We all know that global economy is not that great at the moment. Inflation is running high. And those things affect us all. Well, first of all, the most important thing about slow living is to think about where your money goes. And one of the biggest expenses is housing, where you live, how much you pay for it. And I do realize that it's not possible for everybody to just move into the country and start a new life. But that's what happened to me, and that's what has made it possible for me to live on less. Buying a house like this in Finland is pretty affordable if you buy it outside of the bigger cities. Where I live, it's about 1 hour from the nearest city. There's a small town here, about 10 kilometers from where I live. And there I can go grocery shopping. I have most of the health services available there. I would say that I don't have to leave this town, or wouldn't have to leave it if I didn't want to. But it's only an hour away from the next city. So I would say that's pretty convenient, but it means that the housing prices here are much lower. I probably wouldn't be able to afford a house like this in the Helsinki area, the capital, or at least with the income I have right now. I would have to make other kind of choices. And it's also about the condition of the house. Finland is, like I guess many countries nowadays, has many, well, you could say abandoned houses in the countryside. Houses that nobody lives in, nobody really takes care of. And this house was one of those houses. It belonged to my family. And of course, over the years, we have done a lot of renovation. I don't even begin to calculate how much money we have spent on the house. But at the same time, I know that we have saved an incredible amount of money by doing things ourselves. We didn't have any experience on renovating a house when we came here. So we have learned by doing. And what I'm saying is that if you're dreaming of buying an old house and renovating it yourself, it's completely doable, even if you don't have experience previously. You have to be a person who likes to do things. It's a lot of work and you can't escape that. If you if you were to pay somebody to do all that renovation, it would be expensive. But if you do it yourself, you can save a lot of money. And I wouldn't call myself an expert of any kind in renovating houses, but what I'm saying is that it's not rocket science. You can learn it. You just have to find the right sources of information and be willing to learn about things. And one thing about renovating a house and finances is that we have been doing this more than 10 years now. So it's not like we had a huge amount of money and we did everything overnight. We have saved money, then renovated a bit, and then saved some more money little by little. In order to live like that, you have to be patient. So what if you move into the country, you find a perfect house for yourself and your family, but what then? How will you make a living? You have to have a job of some kind. And what if the jobs in your field are in the capital? Maybe you can't even consider moving somewhere remote. Well, if that's the case, I'm sorry I can't help you, but what I'm doing is that I'm working remotely most of the time. We do have 2 cars, so for example, if I have to drive somewhere for work, I will do that. And my husband drives to his work daily, which is here in this town. So neither of us have to really commute long distances. But luckily, many companies accept remote work, at least partially. So I think that could be a solution for some of us. Overall, I would say that living a slow life is not just about expenses or income, it's about settling with less. You don't need to have new clothes all the time. You don't need to have all the designer furniture that you maybe have been dreaming about. You can settle with what you have. In this house, almost all of our furniture we found in the house or we have bought in some auction or jumble sale. When we have chosen materials for the renovation, we have tried to use recycled materials as much as we have been able to. And I've been talking about frugal living on this channel on a previous video, which I will be linking up here. So if you're interested about a frugal lifestyle, make sure to watch that too. And one more thing, for me, saving money is really important. Investing money for the future. And even though I don't earn that much at the moment, I'm pretty happy about my income right now. It's enough for me, and I even have money to put aside. So every month I try to save a small amount of money, invest it, and feel better about my future, feel more secure. These were the choices I have made in order to slow down. I would love to hear if you have a similar story or if your situation is completely different. But to finish off this video, I'm going to share a bit more about my life right now. It's been a couple of weeks without me posting a video, and that's because I've been working on editing my book, which will be published in July. And it has been a lot of work. And not just in hours, it has also been an emotional process. And I've been in a pretty weird headspace. Like in this movie, The Groundhog Day, every day I've been waking up to this same strange feeling and started working on my manuscript. And it's not that I'm not really happy about it, it's just that many different kinds of feelings and emotions are part of the process. And I would say it has been emotionally pretty exhausting dealing with all those emotions. But having said that, I am really happy to be in this phase right now, knowing that my book will be published. I know that's a really privileged position to be in. If you're interested, I will link the book in the description box, but it's only going to be in Finnish for now. It's only published here in Finland. I've also been decluttering more and more of my storage spaces here in our house. I have thrown so many things away, and that has felt really liberating. We are trying to clear. We have 2 big storage spaces upstairs, and we have been trying to clear one of them completely to make a room for our daughter who wants a room of her own. Yeah, it means that we have to give up a lot of stuff. I am selling something, I'm throwing some things into the trash that can be recycled. But I have also found things that I didn't even remember that I had. For example, I have these old pieces of jewelry. It's called Kalevala jewelry. I got these when I was, I don't know, maybe 15 years old. For a long time they felt outdated, like they were out of fashion. They were really popular in the 90s in Finland. And now I've found them and I'm completely in love with them again. So that's what I've been up to. Thank you for watching. Remember to take care of yourself. See you in the next video. Bye bye!